Today we're making a chili con carne. First we're going to make a basic recipe and then I'll show you how you can add to it with additional ingredients. Welcome back to my kitchen. On this side I've got all the ingredients required to make a basic version of a chili con carne, including 500 grams of beef mince, chopped tomatoes, I've got some red kidney beans. For spices I have cumin, coriander, chili powder and paprika. You'll also need one chicken stock cube and one onion, I've got a white one. Also half a bulb of garlic, that's about 4 cloves. On this side I have additional ingredients you can optionally add, such as lentils, which you can replace the beef with if you want to make an entirely veggie dish. I've got chickpeas, as well as some black-eyed peas here. You can add them or replace them for the red kidney beans if you want. Here I've got some cayenne pepper for heat, some crushed chilies for some additional heat if you want that, or you can replace the fresh chilies with them. And here is some oregano. Additionally you can use fresh herbs if you want, but I don't have any. If you want to replace the chicken stock with beef stock you can do, or you can add the two together. And finally some Worcestershire sauce, I highly recommend this stuff is great. Along with a bit of red wine vinegar. Additionally use red wine, I just don't have any of that either. And wait for it, trust me on this one. Add some peanut butter to it as well. Really, it's great and it adds a lovely sweetness. Finally, you have 2 red chilies. Don't replace the chili powder with these, just add them in separately. Lastly, some tomato puree to really add richness to the tomato sauce. So, let's begin. First, heat up some oil and allow the beef to brown on the bottom, doing this in small batches. And meanwhile, roughly chop your onion. I'm going to chop up 2 onions here because I'm going to make extras for freezing for later. Chop up your garlic or use a garlic mincer if you have one, and then add it to the plate of onions. A good tip here is to crush the garlic underneath your knife and then chop it lengthways, allowing you to get even smaller pieces with less effort. Then bring your onions and garlic across to the pan and add it to a couple of tablespoons of oil on a low to medium heat. You want to then soften those onions until they're translucent and the kitchen should smell amazing. If you're using chilies, just cut them lengthways and then de-seed them before chopping them finely and taking them across to the pan and adding in with the onions. Don't forget, if there's an ingredient you're not using, then you can miss that step out altogether. Now you need to reintroduce the beef and add it to the pot. At this stage, if you're going to do a veggie version, then add the lentils instead, but if you like you can also add them in as well. And now for the spices. In no particular order, I'm adding a tablespoon of paprika, a tablespoon of cumin, 1.5 tablespoons of chili powder, I've got hot but you can use any, and a tablespoon of ground coriander. That's the amount you need for a regular size. If you want to make more, then scale up as appropriate. If you're using additional spices such as cayenne pepper, chili flakes or oregano, then you can add them now as well. Since we're adding flavour, it's time for Worcestershire sauce, about 10 shakes of it, before adding in the chopped tomatoes, along with your beans, whatever beans you're using, red kidney beans, chickpeas or black-eyed peas, whatever, add them all in. Give it a stir before adding your red wine vinegar or red wine, 2 tablespoons of it, whatever you've got. Also at this time you want to add in the tomato puree, and the peanut butter if you're using it, just a tablespoon of it. Then give it a good stir and just leave it on medium heat for half an hour and then low heat for 1 hour, or as long as you need. Just let it blip away, stirring it occasionally, while you go off and do the washing up or whatever. And there you go, chili con carne is delicious and you can make your own version with whatever you like.